Wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't have to redo it a dozen times for a million different reasons. Hi, my name is Ben Hyder. If you don't know who I am or what I'm doing right now, then maybe go check out the pinned video on my profile. If you don't care, or if you've already seen that video, then just for the sake of context, I'm an indie author. I'm about to read some of my book for you. This is basically the chapter that I wrote first, despite the fact that it is not at the beginning of the book, because it's something that just sort of, came to me and I wrote it. And it was just this like standalone thing that didn't have like a place or purpose at all anywhere for many, many years. And then at the behest and encouragement of my wife, I, you know, worked and I've turned it into a full book and everything. So, this probably takes place a little over halfway through the book currently, and I'm going to read it. Reminder, this is dark fantasy, so if that's not your jam, then I don't know, hang out if you want, or keep scrolling, whatever, you do you. Anyways, on to reading. The morning dew settled on the window. Mist clung to the earth with a grip more fierce than death, the sun unable to break it, like a dull blade to wood. A small hut of straw and stone, humble and abandoned by all appearances. No sounds could be heard. Even the crickets lay still, afraid of being a bother. Meek and lifeless, eyes filled with a milky darkness, a small bird drops through the mist. A sparrow lands on the windowsill of the hut, toes scraping the wood with a meticulous curiosity. The bird's head twitched from side to side as it examined the window, a barrier between it and its destination. Inside the hut sat a man in a silken cloak. Insipid indifference rolled off of him thicker than beads of water on waxed paper. Just by looking at him, you could tell he wasn't entirely enthralled with his current vocation. Tack, tack, tack. The noise came, not unexpected, but not entirely what he'd been listening for either. He got up from his chair, in front of a smokeless fire, stretched, and then neatly folded the blanket that had been covering him and draped it over the back of the chair. The air was stiff with antiquated admonishment as the bird rapped against the window again. Tack, tack, tack. The man lowered his hood with a callously casual motion. His fine black hair framed his face. His narrow eyes bled nuanced nautical hues as they casually scanned the room. He did not wait for the world. The world waited for him. Well, 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 he said, with a slight grin as his eyes settled on the simple bird. Now this wasn't expected. He strode across the room, feet flapping against the cold cobblestone. The window, untouched, opens, and the sparrow flies in. The bird casually coasts towards the man, landing in the calloused crevices of his palm. The bird hopped in a circle until the void of its eyes settled on the man's wrist. It looked at his wrist, puzzled, head cocked, and breath held. The man watched the bird with censured cynicism. An audacious mixture of anguish and anticipation coursed through him. The bird seemed bewitched by the man's wrist. It continued to twitch slightly, like it had a nervous tic, though it never fully corrected itself. Its head, practically perpendicular, loses a few feathers. They fall slowly, with a grace completely complacent with their purpose. Slowly, they fall. The bird struck at the man's wrist as the first feather hit the floor. His lips split into a slightly seditious smile. Ah, the man spoke with a sickening sensual sound. The pain produces pulsing pumps of pressure in his ears. The bird strikes again, its small face rustling with flesh for a moment before retracting. Blood begins to burst from the wound. The second feather hits the ground. The bird lashes forward again at the now open wound. This time, however, it jerks back, only 1/4 the distance, gripping something in its beak. Ah! The man's voice quivers with contentious constraint. The bird continues to jerk its body backwards, the neck beginning to bend at begrudging angles. Each tug brings more blood, basting the man's arms and face. The man begins to whisper, a smile growing with each pull on his flesh. Just a little. The small creature jerks once more, punctuating the precise pivot with a snap. The bird's head now dangled dismally at a right angle. It had its prize. The bird hopped into the man's other outstretched open hand. Its head flopped as it hopped, indifferent to its inscrutable life. The bird's pitch-colored eyes shifted as it dropped a small rolled piece of paper into the man's hand. The bird watched inquisitively as the blood-soaked note made its way to the table unaided. The note moved, but nothing else, leaving blood, skin, and sinew hanging in midair. The bird flutters and turns towards him. Emptiness seemed to cascade from every pore on the creature, its emotionless eyes bulging slightly from the head atop its spent and crooked neck. It lets out a chirp, one that's hollow. It's devoid of life, deep, throaty, seemingly silent and yet louder than thought. The bird chirps again, this time with more vigor. Without a moment's pause, it snaps straight, head upright, wings at its side, and legs unbent. My favorite part. And I think that's where I'm going to pause for now. If this seems interesting at all, then feel free to follow me, tune in for more. And for anybody asking before TikTok disappears, yes, I'm working on other socials and everything. There will probably be a link in the doobly-doo. Probably tomorrow, maybe the day after, just sort of depends on whether or not I can get my life together. But yeah, if you enjoyed that, give me a follow. I'm on, a few other apps and everything, but that'll be a different video. So if you're interested, follow and come back for more. Because until this app stops working, I'm probably going to be posting, even if that is only for a few more days. So yeah, anyways, bye.